Hey, Teach Better family. My name is Katie Miglin, and I am so excited to be here with the famous BreAnn Fennell to celebrate her new course that just released this week. Today, we're going to talk about Bree and what makes her so awesome, but we're also going to talk about this stellar course that she just released on sketchnoting. I personally am pretty excited to hear about it and check out this course because it's something that I'm very interested in as well. So go ahead and sit tight. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. My name is Katie Miglin, and I'm here with the Teach Better team to kick off Bree's new course, Sketchnoting Beyond the Bullet Point. Bree, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. You have quite a bit to celebrate this week as your new course just released in our academy. If you are unfamiliar with our academy, it is an amazing resource filled with courses that some are free, some are paid for, but they are tons and tons of resources that you can take back to your classroom and implement pretty quickly. And Bree, yours is just that. Your sketchnoting course is been something we've been talking about doing for a while, so I'm so excited it's finally out. But let's start with you and tell us a little bit about you as a person. And I mean, you're the author of this course. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I am BreAnn Fennell. I work for the Teach Better team. I'm a training development specialist. I am also a third grade teacher. I'm a looping teacher. I have been interested in sketchnoting for a while. Some of you might know that I started on the Teach Better team as an ambassador. And one of the first times I got to present actually on sketchnoting was during our ambassador free PD that ambassadors get with whoever they want, and they picked me that time, so I was so excited to be able to present that and just creating this course. I got to work with Andrea on our team, and she's amazing. Did a great job walking through it. There's so many pieces and parts that I got to learn about just in the creation of this course, so I feel really lucky to have it out and having people already kind of reaching out and telling me things that they gathered from the course, or even just giving me ideas. And as a teacher, I know that this is something that is really kind of personal to like what grade you teach. But what's so great is the foundation levels are the same. So I teach elementary, but you can use sketchnoting with the little kids. You can use it all the way up through high school, college classes. And I don't know about you, but I like to use it when I go to conferences or our Teach Better 12-hour lives. That was one of the places where I really started doing the sketchnoting, but also turning that into like a form with like just those digital art representation. And I talk about that in my course as well.
So, Bree, you kind of jumped in already to what the course is about, which is awesome. But if someone is kind of scrolling through the academy and they see the title Sketchnoting Beyond the Bullet Point, can you kind of summarize what sketchnoting actually is so that someone kind of knows what they're getting themselves into when they join this course?
Absolutely. So, sketchnoting is a combination of different visual representation. So you can use pictures, you can use a combination of pictures and words, letters. You can make it as simple as you want or as fancy as you want. When I do this with students, I really I can use just a simple white piece of paper and have them fold it up and just be ready to go. So it's low prep. But really, there is a lot of research about how this visual representation helps with memory. And I feel like that is, I know Ray always says it's not about just the fluff. It's not about if you're an artist or if you make this beautiful. It's using those tools to really help your students solidify that information so that they can later use it.
So really the idea is that a student might be listening to something or being exposed to something in class, and they are putting it in more of a a pictorial or kind of a more visually friendly way to help them remember it. So do you find that you use it like every day? I mean, how often would you say like an average person could use this?
I feel like once I introduced it, I teach third grade. Once I introduced it, they asked to do it all the time. And so you might see kids in your class that sit and doodle. And sometimes you're like, oh, they're not paying any attention to what I'm doing. They're doing, but they're actually helping with attention. And so if you have students who have ADHD, this is a tool that you really could use just to help maintain their attention while they're listening to something. Like you said, I know all of us through the pandemic may have continued on with an LMS like Canvas or Google Classroom. There's so many out there, but I know that sometimes people be like, oh, well, they didn't really watch the video because my LMS can tell me they just scrolled right on through to the end so that they could, cross that off their list. But what sketchnoting can allow you to do is they can break up those pieces and parts of the video while they're watching, and they can include a visual representation or a couple notes to themselves so that it helps them attend and remember the information that was from the video, especially if it's one like, just being real here, like our students don't always want to hear what we have to tell them. They're not always as interested in the information as we are. And so I feel like this is a tool that I see it popping up because I feel like think about the way we consume information a lot of times. Like we have videos, we have very rarely are kids going to look at a handwritten set of notes by me. Usually it's going to be something that I typed out, but it's putting the pen to the paper or the pencil to the paper. And it's really helping students develop not only those note-taking skills, but I don't know, and it's actually, for me, it's super relaxing and fun as well. I have an example here. Like you'll see this in the course where like I can just take a piece of paper, I can just fold it, and then I can put what I want my students to do. This is great for differentiation. You might be able to just give a blank sheet of paper to a kid, but you could walk through how to break it up. I want you to create 4 sketch notes on this in this section. I want you to include whatever is going to help you remember. So if you're doing this like main character and main ideas for your standard, you can be super transparent with your students. Like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want you listening for while I'm reading that chapter. So just super recently, we did a mystery, which was a kind of a new genre to my students. They have been reading like realistic fiction and fiction or fantasy. And so mystery is really interesting because, it builds upon each other, like you're gathering clues. So sketchnoting was great for that because they were able to kind of capture the clues while I was reading it aloud to them. And so they really had their hands free to be sketching. I had some really awesome detailed sketches, but they don't have to be. And as the teacher, you are in control. You're the expert of your classroom. So if you're like, my kids need it really laid out for them, that it does not have to be a fancy sketch. I just want you to capture ideas. And then you might be able to give them time later to add shading or detail if you really have a class that connects with art.
Well, I think you bring up such a good point, and Carly said it in the comments, that it really involves all students. And it's a great opportunity for students who maybe like struggle just learning one style. Maybe they struggle just like to read or consume through written text or hearing things. It gives them an opportunity to be a part of the discussion. And I know I had tried this years ago and it didn't go well because, of course, I didn't watch this course first. But I had students who were so into the drawing, like you said, and then other students who were like, why are we doing this? Let's just take notes the old-fashioned way. Right. But your point is that it can be either. It can really kind of be whatever a student needs so that they can retain the information, which I think is so helpful. But I do want to know, okay, so where did this come from? Where did you get this idea? Because I know you're super passionate. You've been using it forever, but Where did you like learn about this and kind of start it?
I actually learned about it through Twitter chat. So
Okay.
when I got connected with the team years ago, I started doing these Twitter chats. And so Mastery Chat was one of the ones that I loved. But there was also there were doodle chats, there were all these chats that were going on, but there was one in particular, it was past the sketch note. And so each person added to a single sketch note. It was just a really cool experience and allowed me to connect with other educators that were not in my community. And so I think sometimes we kind of need that, just
Hmm.
to connect with others and hear different voices. And so that's kind of where I got started. I started doing some research about it and then trying it with my class. And I'm a looping teacher, and so sometimes it's bringing in these different things. I could have easily, for the mystery unit, copied a bunch of papers and stapled
Yeah.
them together, and we could have just answered questions. But this was kind of a unique novice idea that kind of kept them on their toes. This is
Mhm.
really interesting. And now during our skill-based groups, they'll be like, oh, for this book, could we do a sketch note instead? So kind of looking for those ways just to keep students active in their own learning, but also giving them a choice. This was really good. It really helped me remember. And also, if you're a teacher like me, hey, you're going to take a quiz on this, use your sketch notes. What can you remember from it?
Yeah.
You did it. You did the work. That's your work. So use it to help you.
Well, and you've mentioned a few times throughout this part of you used it, like you as an adult. And I know I've seen it too. We get tagged all the time on different people who have used sketchnoting after 12 hour, after the conference, after different presentations. But how it has it changed kind of how you engage with the speaker or engage with things now that you're an adult? Because that is, totally different. It's to consume through the adult lens. So how do you use sketchnoting as a professional?
Absolutely. I One of my favorite things to do is to kind of just make little sketches to myself and then go and go onto Canva. Now, if you're an educator, you can get a free Canva for Educators account through your school district if you're a public school teacher. Um, but Canva also has free use as well.
Mhm.
But I like to take the sketches I made for myself and actually use the visual images from Canva to create something that helps me remember. So I love to do that during the 12-hour lives. And even when I
Mhm.
wasn't on the team, I was watching those 12-hour lives, and that 12 hours is a long time. So I would break those into the hours. And then when I was like, okay, I really want to go back and watch that replay, I
Mhm.
can go and look at my sketch note and I can be like, okay, well, this was, this time was with Ray and she was meeting with this person. And so I could actually go find the hour and then
Mhm.
rewatch that segment. So really, as a professional and adult, it kind of helps me, it jogs my memory so that I can go back and find the information that I need.
Well, and I don't know about you, Bree, but I am often more inclined to remember something if I can see a picture of it. If
Mhm.
you can see a doodle, and we know that's true with students too. If they have a piece of clip art, they're more likely to be engaged with that content versus seeing the text. And you are showing that throughout this course. So, Bree, what was the your favorite piece of creating this course?
Oh, my favorite piece. I just like the collaboration. I kind of liked starting with an idea and something that I knew that people could use in
Mhm.
their classrooms and kind of broke it down into simple things. I'm a busy teacher. I'm on committees, I'm on boards, I'm teaching, I'm a mom. And so I wanted to create something that was going to be super user friendly, that teachers could watch, some short videos and then go back and actually use it in their classroom, and then inviting people to share that. I want to see those sketch notes
Mhm.
that your students are creating, because I feel like the more people that share, you're like, okay, this is something that I could tackle. And I know we're getting at least in the United States, like getting close to the end of that school year, this would be a great time if you still have content to cover to bring out these sketch notes and really see how your kids react to it.
Mhm.
I really think that they're going to enjoy it.
Well, that's such a good point too, because try it now. If it doesn't go well, then you have, the summer to reflect. But also, if it does go well, what a great way to re-engage your learners these, last few weeks, however long you have left. So, Bree, what I love is that you are mindful of you're busy, other people are busy. Take the course because it's going to give you some tips that you can implement quickly, and it's going to be user friendly. I know we were very strategic of placing this course when we did because we knew, end of the year can be tough. And so giving a new idea or maybe, showing people kind of the actual steps on how to incorporate sketchnoting at this time of the year, it's not a big, heavy topic. It's light, it's fun. It can make your content more engaging. So what a perfect time to roll this out. I was actually kind of looking behind the scenes a little bit today at some of the videos that you had recorded, and it's so cool how you give examples, but you kind of model some things. And obviously your personality is great for this content. So if you have not had a chance to head to our academy for this course or any courses, we strongly, strongly encourage you to head over there. But especially if you're looking for something to re-engage your learners these last few months, weeks, whatever you have, sketchnoting is perfect. Bree walks you through all the steps so that you can implement it in your classroom. But just like she said, if you are wondering things, want to share things, or just kind of collaborate, Bree is a great resource. You can reach her at her handle, or you can reach her at, is it Bree at TeachBetter or BreAnn?
BreAnn.
BreAnn at teachbetter.com. And so, Bree, it's so fun to go live with you because I can just feel the passion through the screen. But I am so grateful that you created this course for other teachers to use. I'm excited to check it out. I know you and I have talked about sketchnoting before and kind of how to use it and how to make it user friendly to not only teach, but also for your students to use. So I love that. Bree, any kind of last thing you want to share with the audience, like one tip to kind of maybe motivate them to go grab this course and jump in?
I think one of the biggest things is just, I kind of looked at what has helped me in the past, but also what some of those pitfalls were. Why did people drop off of sketchnoting? I know grading was a huge one. So I kind of go over the grading aspect if that's something that is important to you when you're starting something like this. But I feel like whether you are just new to teaching or you've been teaching for a long time, I feel like this course really allows you to interact with it. So you can grab paper and pencil, you can really do it along with me. And so I feel like I'm proud of what we've created together, but I also want to thank all the people behind the scenes that really edited the videos, looked it over, just encouraged me along the way. So that's the great part of working on this team.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to Joshua Stamper and Andrea, who really kind of are the behind the scenes, lots of editing, and Andrea organizes everything in our academy. So shout out to both of them. But Bree, congratulations on a successful course. If you are looking for a way to re-engage your students, please check out sketchnoting beyond the bullet point at our Teach Better Academy. You can find the link. It's scrolling right below us. And we hope that you'll join us for future lives as we continue to push out new courses every few months. So thanks, Bree. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.